I can't hear you.
If you're presenting, we can't hear.
Yeah, we're good now. Can you hear me?
Now I can.
Yes.
All right. My bad.
Were you starting on mute?
It does look like I probably, when I was muting it before when I walked away, so whoops. Hey, you know, we're all human. All right, so I will be sharing all of my recorded trainings on my YouTube channel. We are in Schoology, and we're looking at courses versus groups and building course materials. We're going to look into resources, but we're going to do most of our samples right here in building our courses. So some of you might be wondering even what the difference is, like what course building means. And some people want to know, why am I going to build a course when there's all these great materials already online? Well, when we build a Schoology course, we are putting a sort of hub of materials all in one location. So here's a sample of a preschool classroom course, that, and this is just a sample. I copied this from work that I did with a preschool teacher, Rachel Alexis at Woodford Paideia. And so she's got a folder for her family newsletters. And then she's got all of the links that she already uses, sort of answering that question, why do I need to build this if the resources are all online? What we're doing is tying them all into one place to make it easy for our students and parents to access materials online. When we focus on elementary, we really want to focus on the parent perspective. So this preschool page is actually a link of all resources built for families learning at home. This was just built last week. Links to the CPS remote learning plan that do open up nicely in mobile. And then some of the resources that they were already using in their classroom, as well as resources built during this time for response to COVID-19. So they've linked to their scholastic work right down to their grade level, some of their specific stuff they have on Mission to Move, some of the websites they already use in their classroom, but also, and also they're big Dojo users in preschool, so a link to Dojo. And so this is a sample of a course that was built for preschool. Another way that you can build your course is through your homeroom and making that a hub for all of your course content. So this is a intermediate teacher, and this teacher serves students in 4th, 5th, and 6th grade. And so in this course, she has folders for the 4th grade work, the 5th grade work, and the 6th grade work. And it's all tied together and hubbed in the homeroom. And she has renamed the section remote learning. This is all stuff we're going to go over later. I'm just giving you a quick overview. Before we go all the way into that, I really want to look at this debunking some myths from using Schoology for elementary. Now, some of these do apply to when you're in school, but a lot of them, if any of you still are kind of not sure about Schoology and elementary learners, let's look at debunking some myths with elementary course building. I can do just as much in Google Classroom. Okay, that's actually not true. Schoology is a full-feature learning management system. It is linked with PowerSchool. All of our courses are already created and rostered. Students are already enrolled, and parent accounts are managed through the system, and parents are able to link with all their children in the district. So it is not the same as building a Google Classroom. Myth number 2, Schoology is complicated. It's actually quite simple once you learn some simple tips and tricks, and you can even build it from your mobile phone. Schoology does not impact my instruction. Well, we know that that's not true, and we can get into in later sessions how you can pull data, such as when the last time your student logged in, or data on how they are doing on an assignment. I have to create all my own content. Big myth. The fact is, it's very easy for Schoology users to share content, and that preschool sample that I shared with you earlier, a preschool team made that together with my assistants, and we shared it out to all preschool teachers in the district. So we can build and share. You do not have to do this alone. Another myth, Schoology just adds another tech tool to the already long list I'm using. Actually, Schoology is better used as a hub and can replace many tools you already use. Now, this slide deck was made from some teachers at another state. They were using Remind a lot. Ours could be Dojo or even Google Classroom. No one's saying stop using those, but hub or link them in Schoology. Students can't use Schoology because they don't know their letters yet. There are choices. You can do audio, video, typing text. You can make the whole experience picture-based if you want to. There are a lot of options that have nothing to do with reading that can support reading instruction as well. Primary students are too young to use technology. Okay, this one, let's just take a moment to watch this baby girl navigating on YouTube. And this is about 1-year-old. Plus she's darling. Okay, this little one knows how to go and look for a video and navigate back out of it. These little ones are very savvy when it comes to technology, and the Schoology app works very well on a tablet or a mobile phone, which many of our families at home are only using a mobile phone or a tablet. Schoology offers visual experience for students. Even non-readers can find a path to an activity. So I can show that all today. Implementing Schoology means too much screen time. We know that we're all on a lot of screen time right now, but we can make these short, simple activities. If you're going to do something routine that you would normally do in person, you're now doing on the screen, try to limit it to no more than a 15-minute activity. We're going to skip the myth on grading papers, and I'm going to exit this now. All right, so that was just a little bit of the buy-in. Why build my course content when there's good resources online? Well, we're suggesting that you go ahead and hub those great resources all in Schoology. I'm going to have to build all this myself. No, you don't. We can network you together with your team and your building, or even with the district level, and share our resources out. When we go into Schoology course building, I'm actually going to look at a course from scratch, so to speak. So before I go into all of that, Ashley, could you just let me know if there's anything in the chat that I need to address?
Yes, there is a question, a good question from Ms. Ulrich. How do I know if students have been to my Schoology course?
I will be happy to show that in just 1 second. Perfect question. Love it. All right, let me just get my blank course set up. I'm sorry, I thought I had this queued up already. Let me just blank this out. Okay, I'm going to show that. Delete. Okay. Well, listen. The first question was, how can I see if my students have been in Schoology? For that, I'm going to go into my practice course. The only people who are in this course have given me permission to use their names in my course. But if I go into my course, okay, I've opened the course I wanted to use in the course menu. If it didn't show up in these first 12, you can go into My Courses and scroll and find it. But I'm in this course, and I'm going to go down the left-hand panel to Analytics. Now, not only can I see in Analytics the last time that somebody in my roster signed into Schoology, I can also see the last time that they interacted with materials in my course. So this is a very handy way to see, are they getting into Schoology? Yes, they are, but they're not going in my course. So I can quickly reach out to that student and say, hey, I noticed that you're in Schoology, but you haven't been in our course yet. So that will show you, that is how you can see when students have interacted with materials in your course. Okay. Ashley, any other questions before I navigate through building a course from scratch?
No, that was it. Oh,
okay.
What?
Yes.
Wait, I'm sorry. One just came in. What is the channel on YouTube we can use to go back and watch these? So if you can, I'll repost the link. So don't worry about it.
Yep, I'll just drop it in now. Just bear in mind, anything I record today probably won't be up until possibly the end of the day. But that's just my YouTube channel, and this is not. This isn't on behalf of the district. This is just on the ones that I'm recording. So if you're in with me, I'm uploading those to my YouTube channel. You'll have to ask in other virtual PD moderators how they're sharing their content. All right, let me go back here to this course from scratch. Excuse me, I'm getting a little lost. Here we go. So if we're talking about building our course, it really isn't all that complicated. When I go into my courses, I can just find my courses, and as an elementary teacher, I'm going to recommend that you use your homeroom as that hub for your learning. Now, even if you teach self-contained and you're teaching reading, math, social studies, and science, I would still use homeroom as my hub for my learning at home. And I'm going to show you, I can show you a little bit more in the example from Ms. Kiefer over at North Avondale and her 4th, 5th, and 6th grade course, as well as that preschool course. But I like to operate out of homeroom. And there's a few things you want to do first when you open your course to build it for your students. You want to create a visual experience for your students. If you are in the call and you are not muted, you are interfering with the sound of the call right now. So please do make sure that you are muted. Whoops. All right. So if everybody could just mute themselves, and nobody take it personally if I mute you. It's just because I'm getting interference on my side. Okay. The first thing that I recommend you do so that when your students log in, they do not have a bland and generic login screen. If you do not change your course image, when your students log in or their parents look at their courses, here's what they're going to see. Right there. Your student clicks on courses and all of the courses look exactly the same. Nothing, especially if I'm younger and I'm not a grader, I am not going to know which course to click on. So the first thing that you can do is change your course icon. If you hover over the course image, the word edit will come up on the screen. Sorry. Edit picture will come up. Click edit picture from those blue books. You can just click on one of Schoology's different color custom images, or you can pull in your own custom image. And you would just save an image to your computer. I've already pulled this one in previously. So there, I've got an image now on my course. The second thing that I can do to make it clear to students and parents that this is where my remote learning materials are, is I can go into edit info. Now, I want to be very clear, you are not editing a course name. If you edit the course name, you will mess up the name of that course for everybody in your building. So please do not edit course name, but section name, you can name it remote learning, or you can name it by your last name, Miss Alexis's class, or you can name it by whatever makes sense for you. But you can change that section name. Now, you can type into the course name field and it will save it, but it changes it for everybody. So please do not change the course name. Just change the section name. You have to scroll down and hit save. And it lets you know that the section has been updated. You can click back on the blue hyperlink to go back to the main course materials page. And so now my course has a custom image and it has the label remote learning on it. So when I click on courses, that's easier to differentiate between that and all these generic tiles. All right. The next step of course building is actually adding content to your course. And so this is the Add Materials button. For those of you who are wanting to know how we got content like this into the course, it's through the Add Materials button. So I can add a folder, an assignment, test or quiz, assessment. These two are kind of related. This is a little bit more robust question types. A file, link, or external tool. The two that you're going to want to cue in the most on as elementary teachers is adding a file or a link. Adding a discussion, that is a great way to facilitate classroom participation with your students. And we're starting to see a lot more discussions go up online. Adding a page adds like basic, someone is not muted and I'm getting a lot of background interference. Could you please check and make sure you're muted? Like I can hear quite a bit of background noise. Please mute yourself. Adding a page essentially adds a small web page into the course, and I'll show the example of add a page. Media album, I've never used add a package. I Frankly, I don't even know what it is. But then there's also this import from resources. All right, so I want to get started, and I need an example of what to do. So I'm going to go into, I'm going to go into Miss Alexis's preschool classroom, and I'm going to go into Miss Kiefer's fourth, fifth, and sixth grade classroom. There we go. All right, so as an example, this is adding a folder, and in that folder, you can add copies of your classroom newsletter. You can simply add a file, and if your newsletter is a Word document or a PDF, you can attach it here just like you're attaching an email. If your excuse me, newsletter is in a Google Doc, you can just add a link right to that Google Doc here, and you would just paste the link here and then give it the title. And then you would copy the, excuse me, you would copy the link from school or from Google Drive. I'm sorry, I thought I had the right drive pulled up and I don't. One second. So we're going to pretend that this file is my newsletter. It is not, but it doesn't matter. All right, so we're going to pretend that this file is my newsletter. All I need to do is get a shareable link. Now, bear in mind that if it's for parents, you can see here it says anybody at Cincinnati Public Schools with the link can view. If you're creating your newsletters in Google Drive, you need to make sure that the link is anyone with link can view. Now, it defaults to anyone at Cincinnati Public Schools can view. You will need to click on this, click more. Make sure you make the link anyone with link can view, because otherwise a parent won't be able to view that newsletter. Then you simply copy the link. When I hit copy here, it's copied to my clipboard. Then I can go back into Schoology to my course, paste that link, add it, and now my newsletter is going to be in my family communication folder. So I'm building in Rachel's course, which she's great and has allowed me to use her course, but I am going to delete that. All right.
Hey,
So,
Rosemary, just a little bit. You're just walking through your stuff.
Yep. My plan is to show how to do things a little quickly and then slow back down on the content just so we make sure we hit all of them. But yes, I will try to go a little slower. All right. So we added a folder, and then in the folder, we added either a file or a link. So again, a file would just be from your desktop, just like attaching to an email. That could be a Word document, or it could be a PDF. Doesn't really matter what the document is. So if you've already written your newsletter and you just want to put a copy in it, you'd add a file. If you have a link in Google Drive, maybe you created your newsletter in Google Drive, you'd add a link. And just make sure that your link is set to anyone with the link can view so that your parents can view it. You would just copy that link, and then you would add that link. Excuse me. Add that link in there. Sorry, I keep going the wrong course. Let me close some of these out. All right. So you paste the link here, and then name the link newsletter. All right. You'd add that. I'm not going to really add that. External tool, we're not going to cover right now. That would be specific curriculum tools. And for right now, I would direct anybody, if they have questions about curriculum tools, that you check with the curriculum and instruction team. You can find them in Schoology as well, under courses, Office of Curriculum and Instruction. So if you want to add a curriculum-based material I would post your question to the curriculum office and follow their instructions. All right. The other thing that I talked about adding was links to the things you're using outside of Schoology. And so this is a page with embedded images. Now this is an already done template that the preschool team made, but I just want to show you how you could quickly build that yourself. In materials, you would add a page. And we can add assignments, tests and quizzes and all of that. Discussion is going to be the second one we go over. So we're going to look at add a page first, then add a discussion, and then we're going to look at some of the assignment features, just in case you're wondering what we're planning to get to. So when I add a page, I've got to give that page a name. So I'm going to call it Remote Learning Resources. Now in the body of this, I can type my message to parents or to students about using these links. And then I just want to insert some content. Now you can do that with a hyperlink to text. So you can just put something like PBS Kids. And you could go to pbskids.org. Here. It's the last time I was on this link. So this was Learning at Home from PBS Kids. So this would be a great website to use. When I'm adding my page, I can just hyperlink that text if I wanted to. So I could just copy the URL, the link at the top, copy the link, paste the link, and now that's a clickable hyperlink. But I like visuals, so I'm going to insert content. If you look along the top bar here, this is all your text editing features, right? I'm going to insert content, and I'm going to insert an image. I'm going to attach a file. And I had previously made a copy of and saved the PBS logo. So I had that in my computer already. Get rid of any unnecessary spacing. Now I've got this hyperlink text, but I want the image to be clickable. So I'm going to select the image. I'm going to go back to the website exactly where I want to be and copy it. And let's say I want to get very specific, like this is for my 4-year-old students. I'm going to go into a 4-year-old literacy activity. Wherever you want them to go, oh, it jumped to 2 for some reason. Age 4. All right, so all topics for 4-year-olds. So maybe this is, I'm just giving an example of how specific you can be. Go exactly where you want them to go so there's less navigating needed for the parent or student at home. And then hyperlink the picture. Now to do that, sorry, I didn't give the verbal instructions. Select the picture, so it's blue. Click on the little link symbol at the top. Click link and paste that website right there and hit insert. Now that picture is clickable. If I hit create, pages are created as a separate link in here. This is a new page. But prior to hitting create or after, I can hit edit and go in. If I hit this little button down here, display on new page is the default. If I click it and click display in line and save it, now that appears on the main materials page without having to click into this page. So my students can just click on the picture of PBS and they're straight to where they need to go. Now, as you can see, I've been operating on more of a parent mindset, but this could go directly to, I have one other example I want to show for elementary, especially reading. As a classroom teacher, I love Starfall, except for I never could send my kids just to Starfall because you know what they would start doing. They would start doing the All About Me or make a pumpkin or a snowman, and they're not working on the content I want them to do. But I might have had a reading unit that I wanted them to read the whole collection of folktales. So I could take this collection of folktales and I could copy that and paste that into my course. So I'm just going to add this to the page here. I'm going to take an image. And again, for the purpose of this training, I have previously pulled in some images. I'm going to select my starfall image. It comes in the size that it was saved at, so you do immediately have to resize it. Make it as big or as small as you want, whatever makes sense for you. There's also a way you can insert a grid in my visuals for primary training on my YouTube channel. I get more into how to do these grids. But again, it was just insert the image, select it. I'm going to take them directly into these folktales. Sorry. Oops. I'm going to link it. Insert. And so now when I save these changes, now my students have two tiles. When they click the Starfall button, they go straight into the folk tales that I want them to read. So whatever content you are taking them to, on whatever source it is, it could be a Khan Academy math video. Link directly to where you want them to go. Don't give them instructions that say, go to Khan Academy, find third grade math, click on the geometry unit, click on equal side objects, or, don't give them all those go to link navigation instructions. Just take them straight there. Link it to a picture or just link the text. I'm going to go into discussions next, and every time I add a new piece of course content, I'm going to show how it relates to the previous one. But because we are about halfway through, I do want to pause and say, Ashley, can you let me know if there's any questions I need to address right now? So amazing to see all of you in here. All right. Ashley, any questions I should address?
Juanita can't hear you for some reason. I suggested that she use her cell phone to call in.
Yeah, let me show you how to do that real quick, Juanita. You can just click on the three-dot menu at the bottom, use a phone for audio, and you can actually enter your phone number and have the meeting call you, or you can click on the second tab and you can follow these dial instructions. So again, Juanita, at the bottom, just click the three-dot menu and use a phone for audio. We've had a few people have trouble with their internal device settings, and our My Tomorrow and JW Affinity technicians are available to help you troubleshoot settings on your devices, whether it's your teacher computer or even your home device. You would just send an email to ITM Help and let them know that you're having trouble with your sound in group meetings, and they can help troubleshoot that. Ashley, could you add that to the chat, the ITM Help email address?
Yes, I sure can.
Thank you. All right, so I covered a lot in a little bit of time. In addition to looking at some of the why I would use these materials, I looked at how you can set your course up for an elementary student or parent to be easier to navigate by editing the picture and changing the section name of the course. We looked at adding links to your course through adding a file or link, or adding hyperlinked text or hyperlinked pictures. And we did this all in the material, Add a Page. The next topic I'm going to move on to is adding a discussion. This discussion is going to be, I like the CPS United campaign. This is on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. So I'm going to look up what the CPS United hashtag is talking about today, because I can't remember off the top of my head. There's been a different focus every day. It's pretty cool. Oops. Hyde Park, Hyde Park. Well. All right. I'm blanking right now. They did things like show your talent, show your spirit. So I'm going to go with the one that was a STEAM activity. Last Tuesday, for some reason, that's the one sticking out of my head. CPS United asked us to share a STEAM activity that we were doing. So show or tell. Oops, I've added this extension, and I don't plan to turn it off even for my trainings. I think it's a good tool to use to keep you moving so you don't get too stiff working at your desk all day, but you can ignore that for now. Show or tell how you used science, technology, engineering, or math at home this week. And then I will probably just, so those are the STEM topics. It could also be an art, STEAM, and we'll change it to STEAM. STEAM at home this week. So you'll notice that I'm telling them to show or tell because we can do that in a discussion. Now, the first thing that I want to consider, if I was just to create this and hit post, oh, I do have to STEAM share your show or tell. Show or tell discussion. All right, I named it. It does make me name it. If I create it, it's fine. I could just be done. So when we were talking about this being easy, it is. You can just click materials, click a discussion, name it, write the instructions, and post it, and it's done. But let me show you, this is how it shows up. Does this feel very elementary friendly? Not in my opinion. So instead, what I'm going to do is edit it. And we're going to use some of these text editing tools. The first thing I want to do for my young students is make it bigger font. I can make it huge. All right. Show or tell how you use science, technology, engineering, art, or math at home this week. My font is larger. I can also, if I wanted to, I could get jazzy and change my colors. Well, my screen is not cooperating with me. Ah, right there, sorry. Drop down. So I could change each one to a different color. All right, so I can change the colors of my fonts. I can also, if I wanted to, and I needed a bullet point list, I could give some examples. So I can add bullets. Example 1. I could spell example right too. You'll notice it wasn't doing a spell check for me. I actually have to hit spell check in here. So just watch your spelling. All right, so I can add bullets, I can add numbers, I can do a little bit of formatted text if I wanted to, centering, changing the alignment. Those are all ones you know about, but you know I'm big on pictures. So I might put in a picture that shows how I did a STEAM activity this week. Now, this isn't going to be actually related to it, but let's just imagine that this picture helps describe the content. You see the picture comes in how it was saved, very large. I can resize it. All right. I can have that picture link me out to something like that CPS Twitter hashtag. So I'm going to put CPS United. I'm going to find something on the STEM topic. All right. This was Happy STEM Day, CPS Virtual. So this is, maybe I want to link to this. Pretend this is my Twitter. It doesn't really matter what you're linking to, but I could put a link now to this and add it to the picture. Oops, sorry. So I can add that link to the picture, and now they're going to go straight to that update from that person about the CPS STEM challenge. So now I have a much more robust discussion. Larger font, more colorful, more engaging. We can add more. I'm going to show one more feature of discussions. And as you can see, I've tied in everything from the previous one. I've added hyperlinked pictures. Watch this. All right, so I'm going to tell them, watch this video, then show or tell me how you use science, technology, engineering, art, or math at home this week. So I want to embed a video. Now, I've not previously vetted out this video. Obviously, you're great teachers. You would do a whole lot more searching at home, finding a good content video. But let's just pretend that this video is what I want them to watch. 6 minutes long, not too long, not too short. If you're in YouTube, this is probably the best resource for embedding videos. If you right-click on a video, you can copy the embed code. So again, I went to YouTube. I'm a good lesson planner. I've already pulled a great content video, and I am going to copy its embed code. I'm going to go back here. Oops, sorry, I keep going the wrong one. To my discussion. And right here where my cursor is, I'm going to go to this insert content. And the same one, image or media, but instead of attaching file here, I'm going to go to the web. Now, you can see that it says link, but if you click on media, and you can see it's got a little film strip, a little indication there's a video there. Click on media, it switches to link embed. It has to say embed for this to work. You paste that embed code from the video, insert it, and now this video is embedded. Now in the edit mode, you just get a yellow screen. You can also resize it to fit within the window nicely, as large or small as you want. I'm going to make it a little smaller. Okay, and I'm going to hit Save Changes. Now my students open up their remote learning discussion, and they have a video that they can watch, and then they can reply to me and tell me either how they did that, or they can show me through the audio video recording. That's what I want to get to in the next 10 minutes, is how we build audio video content for both the teacher and the student. But before I go too much further into course building, adding audio and video layers to your materials, I want to pause and make sure I'm catching your questions. Ashley, any questions that you weren't able to answer, or that you didn't already answer in the chat?
I have a question.
Okay.
If we have already posted a link to our materials, is there a way to add a picture? I teach 3rd grade, so like you were saying, you know, to have more visuals, or would I have to like delete the link and start all over?
No, I could get very specific with you individually, Amy.
Okay.
My office hours aren't till Wednesday, but I could probably find some time to show, or if we get to the last 5 minutes of this, I could dip into your course and we can look at it specifically, but you can edit anything you already have in Schoology. Everything is editable.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. The embedded process, I would be happy to go over that again. We're actually going to go over it again because I'm going to show it in the next layer. And I will go a little more slowly through that if you like. Kimberly says it seems a lot like Facebook. It's as easy to do as Facebook. I do believe that the reason the makers of Schoology gave it this interface is to make it look and feel as comfortable for us as Facebook. And in my opinion, it truly is as easy, but it's so much more secure, as well as so much more powerful because it connects to our student information system, PowerSchool. Courses are already created, rosters are already loaded. If you choose to do graded assignments in Schoology, you can connect it with your gradebook and grades can be instantly transferred over. It is a safe, secure platform. Parents enter through access codes that are provided within the platform. So there's just so many more layers on there. So to answer that question, yes, it is as easy as Facebook, but it is such a better platform to use, especially for now connecting with your students and parents remotely. This is more important than ever, but I support using this all the time, all year long. So those of you who are just jumping into it, sort of because the circumstances have thrown you into having to use online learning, I really hope that you'll see these as tools that you continue to use when you're back in person with your students as well. Parent access codes, I can show briefly at the end, but because I'm trying to stay focused on this topic for this hour for course building, I'll save it for an end question. I did see that, and I will circle back to it. Parent access codes will be up at the end. All right, we're staying focused on course building. And so I didn't hear anything from Ashley. The request that I got was to show how to embed a YouTube video again. Now, in the
You're
spirit
on
of
track, Logan.
thank you, Ashley. In the spirit of I like to, before I start a new topic, recap over what we just did in the previous section. So we just looked at earlier adding a page, and in the page we added hyperlinks and clickable pictures or visual hyperlinks. In add a discussion, we added some colorful fonts. We looked at how to increase the font so that a young student can more easily read online. We also looked at adding those hyperlinked images, but the other piece that we just added on was embedding a YouTube video. Whoever's off mute, if you could please mute yourself, I'm getting some feedback. All right, so we looked at those pieces. So now I'm going to go back into my add materials, and just to keep it kind of flowing on a different activity, I'm going to look at adding an assignment. And just bear in mind, everything I show you in each section, you can add on to either an assignment, test or quiz, assessment, page, discussion. You can do all of these things. Everything I'm showing you, you can do across different tools. For some reason, whenever I'm in a meeting and I'm on present mode, sometimes my screen does not present like correctly in the window. So bear with me as I work through my technical issues. All right, this time I'm adding an assignment. Yeah, it's opening up wrong, but okay. So I'm going to call this assignment participation show your at-home learning. Okay, so I'm going to go back through those steps of first view this video as a step one for the assignment, then post your response. You can write or record your response. Now, quickly going over some of those tips that we saw before, I'm going to bump up the font for my young readers. I want it to be nice and big so it's easy for them to view. I could add some colors, like step one is green. Oops, sorry, I didn't click it. Step one is green. Step two is orange. It doesn't matter, you get the idea. All right. I'm going to embed the video. So I'm going back to YouTube. Yeah, we're going to pretend this is the video that you want. All you have to do is go to the video that you want, right click on the video, and copy embed code. Again, that was copy embed code. Now you do not have to embed on your content. You can just link to it. So where I showed you back in the beginning, adding a file or link, you could just link to a YouTube video. But if you want it to appear nicely within the frame of the assignment, you copy the embed code. Back on your assignment, click with your cursor where you want that video to appear. So I want it to appear between step one and step two. I'm going to go into insert content. I know that the view is small. For some reason in Google Meet, when I had a larger view, it wasn't all showing up on the screen. So click, insert content, image media. Instead of the first one, we click on the tab from the web. And then instead of adding the link here, we still have to click one more on media to embed this. Now all we do is paste that link, insert media, and it drops it. And I will say this, it drops it in a good size window for a discussion board. You can always clean up your spacing if you want to. You can always drag it and make it larger or smaller. Do whatever works for you. Now, I'm adding another layer on. I'm going to give audio and video instructions to my students. I'm going to click, sorry, I didn't say what it is. I'm going to click on the microphone, audio, video recording. This is going on my discussion instructions, and I can click audio and video. Bear in mind, you will have to have given permission up here in your browser to allow your camera and microphone. You might have to check that you have permission. But then it brings up this recording screen and I'm going to start recording. Hi students, my instructions to you today are to first watch the video and then post your response. Thanks. So you can imagine that all the ways that you could use this video, you could, if you do sign language interpretation, you could sign the instructions in. If you speak a second language, you could say the instructions in a second language. It's just a nice tool to add to your assignment. Now, bear in mind, if you add an assignment, you have to give it a category. Because we're not giving grades right now, according to the last superintendent update I read, we weren't giving grades right now. I'm going to mark it ungraded. And then there are a lot of other options. I would love to have the time to go through all those with you, but we don't have the time today. I will just say this individually assigned button is very powerful, and I will be looking to schedule co-teaching, like with your reading specialist, math specialist. I'll be looking to add one of those to our schedules coming up. But I can't get into the weeds of that right now. We've only got 11 minutes left. All right, so now I have an assignment in here, and when my students click on this assignment, they have the embedded video, and they have the teacher's video response. Now, depending on the device they're on, my computer just downloaded the video. I don't know why the video didn't come through because it's always come through for me. I'll show it on an update as well. Then my students, this is where I can comment. When my students submit, they also have that microphone as an option. So I'm going to show adding the update next. I'm sorry, I'm going to pause after adding this. So far we have added a page, we have added a discussion, and now we've added an assignment. To all of those things, we sort of layered, adding in hyperlinks, hyperlink to pictures, for visuals, embedded videos, colored fonts, and video recorded instructions. Ashley, are there any questions I have on those topics before I get into course building updates? It's my last topic, and then I'm ending on mobile.
There was a question to see if you could redo how you uploaded the video or how you recorded the video.
I did redo that once already. I already redid that once, so I've done it twice now. Anything else after that?
Nope, not on those topics you just covered, no.
Perfect. Just because we are ending the hour right now, I do want to show this topic was course building. And so what we did was get our course more visually easy to navigate by adding a picture, changing our section name, adding pages with links and clickable images, adding discussions or assignments with embedded videos and larger colorful fonts, and adding video instructions. While you are building your course from home, it's really important that you use the updates feature as your course announcements. So you can start off with something simple from hello families, and give them a greeting. Or you can even have a daily update right in your message, whatever you want it to be. You have a little bit more limited features with text editing in here. Font only goes up to 14. There's a bullet list, but there's a little bit less tools here. And the insert content doesn't have the images I was showing you. I have a way to make your updates pop, but that's going to be a different topic. But I do want to show the microphone here. I can record directly into my update. Hi, everybody. I can say hello. I would keep this short and sweet, 2 to 3 or no more than 5 minutes. I do believe there's a cap limit on it, but I put my recording, tell them how much I miss them and love them. And then I get to preview it. So I can watch the video, decide if I want to insert it. And then when I post that update, it does take a minute to sort of render in place, but it will actually show up as a video. It won't just be a hyperlink. This will shortly appear as a video right there. And some of you might have seen I posted some updates last week. This takes a little time to load that, that tile of that video. So it's more than just this little link. It will actually appear in the body of the message. I'll go back to that after we answer other questions. But right now I do want to show this is where my brain starts to mush together with what I've already been doing. I'm going to stop presenting my screen. Actually, first I am going to check if that video is loaded yet. Not yet. Okay, I'm going to stop presenting my screen and I'm going to show mobile. All right, I have stopped presenting my screen and now let me go just to my view. Turn this off. All right, I want to show you mobile. Okay, so if I am a parent or student at home and the only device that I have to access online learning is a mobile phone, and whether it's Android or Apple, I've tested both, they both work very well. If you add that icon to your course, that course image, that is a lot easier than having a whole series of blue books. So we add that icon. Then when I click in it, just bear in mind that your initial first page images do not show up on mobile. But that page, when I click it, the title of it, that's why I want to name that page something very explicit, remote learning resources. So when I do that, oh, I want to go. There we go. So I clicked on remote learning resources and there are those images I just added. Now this PBS Kids one, because I'm on a mobile phone, it's going to open right up in the browser. And you can see these are designed to work really nicely on mobile. My discussion. I'm clicking on my discussion. The embedded video is still sitting right there on mobile. I really like the Schoology mobile app interface. Now, depending on Apple or Android, I have an Apple phone as well. I could show, but we're running short on time. To participate in it, they do have to tap on comment and then submit their comment. So there's like a little extra click, but to view it, it looks fantastic on mobile. The last one I'm going to show is that participation assignment, and you can see how nicely it shows up on mobile. So my updates also show up nicely on mobile. So my parents or students can read my updates and they can view my video recording. Depending on the mobile device, my iPhone remembers how I want to view it. My Android asks me every time. So on my Android, when I hit it, it's going to ask me what I want to open it with. I hit open, and then the video opens right up. All right. I'm going to go back to my grid view. Okay, questions. We covered a whole lot of stuff. Ashley, any questions that I have not addressed yet? And it can be on anything at this point. The parent one, I do have a note to go back to.
Can you let people know what will be covered in the primary Schoology course that's going to be on Friday? Is there any difference between what you're covering now and the primary Schoology course?
So the primary one, some of the same information is shared, like the preschool example and Miss Kiefer's homeroom showing the 4th, 5th, 6th grade folders in her homeroom. I do show that, but it's strictly focused on visuals and how to build the visuals. It is actually already on my YouTube channel, so you don't have to wait till Friday for that. It's Schoology for primary adding visual content. So that, that link is on my YouTube channel. Also, the overview of video creation tools that I did last Friday is on my YouTube channel. So I'm going to share that again. So you can already go in and view those if you want to. The parent one I had this morning, I accidentally forgot to record. So I will be recording it again on Wednesday. If I have time before Wednesday, I'll try to record the general content because I can just go off my agenda. But I may not have time to do that before Wednesday. But Wednesday, I will be offering Connecting Your Parents to Schoology again. I did have a question that I said I would go back to for connecting parents, but I want to see, Ashley, is there anything else on this topic of course building that I can answer first?
No, I think we covered it all. All the questions that is.
So I'm going to go to my practice course to show you how I can access parent connection. So I can, number one, check if they're connected. So I go into a course. On the far left is the members tab. I click on members. In my members tab, I need to get rid of those groups. If there is a connected parent, their name appears in gray below the name of the student. Okay, so at a glance, I can tell that Grace does not have a connected parent, Chatan does not, and Jennifer does not. But Mary does, Hannah does, and Angela does. Their parents are connected. I can see that at a glance. Now, the next step then is when you're contacting those parents to ask them if they have a Schoology account, maybe from another sibling, or if they don't have one, to promote them to go ahead and go on and sign up as a parent. You'll need access to your access codes. To get those, do not share this code here. That is your course access code for joining as a student. Don't share that code. The parent access code link here, you click that. It will download an Excel CSV file to your computer. So you would open that file, and then I have previously saved one with the access codes blocked out. They're going to all come through the same. So it'll come through something like this. And let me unhide these. Sorry, I did not plan to go over parent information in here. I hid the first two cells. You don't need them. Anyway, under column F is the parent access codes, column F. And then so I like to make those bigger so that they stand out to me. Now, another don't is do not share this file with the parents because the file has everybody in your class's access code. You only want to share with the parent their access code. Then you would prompt the parent to go to Schoology.com. They go to Schoology.com. And if they've never created an account, they sign up as a parent. If they do, they log in and then they add your student to their account. So if they're signing up as a parent, it prompts them for the access code. I do have a set of instructions for you that I shared in my last session that has parents how to create their accounts and like step-by-step things that you can share with them. I don't have it queued up right now, but I could pull it up if needed. Any other questions on this topic? Ashley, did you already share the form for training feedback?
Yes, I shared the PD hours for them to get. Yep.
Yep, perfect. Okay, so do make sure that you fill out your training contact hours and feedback form. If you want to get contact hours for this training, you do need to put in your employee ID number. However, you'll notice that the name and employee ID number fields are optional. But if you want the contact hours, you do need to put that in. And then there's some
course number.
It doesn't say course number on the form.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, I think you're thinking about registering for Mayerson. Our Learning Technologies team virtual PDs, there is no registration for that. If you add your employee ID number to the form, we will take care of getting your contact hours added to your transcript with Mayerson in May. Somebody's asking to send the form again. Oh, thanks, Ashley. She is awesome. She stays on top of it. All right, well, we are at 1:02. I did remember to record this session, so it will be on my YouTube channel later today. You can go on here to view training videos of trainings I've already recorded. You just keep scrolling. I haven't added a whole lot yet. The only ones I'm adding are these like hour-long sessions that I'm doing with people or some quick step instructions. So the ones that you can access from recently are Schoology for primary, adding visual content. And it doesn't just have to be for primary. The visuals apply to any age range. And the overview of video creation tools. I will be adding Schoology for parents on Wednesday. And today I'll be adding this course that we just did, or this virtual PD we just did on course building. All right. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for giving your feedback. And as you can see, that red screen is popping up. I will just on the side plug that I really think that you should make sure you're doing something to not have so much screen time yourself. I noticed at the end of the second week, my whole body was like, just didn't feel right. I was stiff and sore because I spent so much time sitting in front of a screen. I'm usually up and in the schools. So I added that Move It extension to my Chrome. I will also just throw in, since I have everybody's attention, if you are in one of these webinars again, or excuse me, video virtual conferences, and you want to be in the meeting and in your course trying to work along with us, what you could download is the extension Split Tab or Tab Resize. You click on that, and it'll offer to split these two into two equal size windows so that you can pay attention to what I'm doing on my screen here, and then you can be working in your course here. So that's just one little tip or trick for those of you new to online learning yourself.
Can you show us that one more time?
Of course.
Thank you.
Yep. We'll just drag this back over. So what it actually does is take all the tabs that I have in that view and split them. So, but it splits them on whatever you're looking at. It shows you a preview too. So let's say I want the meeting on one tab and my Schoology course on the other. I would click on Tab Resize here. I'll drop the link in the chat if any of you are interested in staying on for this. We are at 104. This is not on topic, but I know it could be helpful for those of you who are participating in online training. So if you just sign off now, no worries. I clicked on Tab Resize. It gives me the option to split it between the meeting and Schoology because those are the two I have lined up. So I'm going to click that. There were other options. This is just the one that makes the most sense for me. That way I can watch what's going on in the meeting on this side, and I can be working in my course here on the other side. I'm a little bit big for that. But then I could go into my course and get some course building done.
I am really sorry. I am not seeing in my tools that tab resize.
I'm going to give it to you.
I'm sorry.
I'm going to give you a link to add it right now.
Okay. All right. I'm like, wait.
No.
Sorry.
I'm going to show it to you right now. I'm going to share it with you, right now.
Thank you.
Yep. All right. And the internet just slowed down. Bear with me 1 minute. Uh-oh. Now it's saying Chrome is not responding. Can you all still hear me? Thumbs up if you can. Okay. My Chrome is not responding right now. I broke
We
the
can hear
internet.
you right here.
Okay, great. If you want to step-by-step through it, I can't drop the link to you right now, but just in a new tab, go to the Chrome Web Store. So if you just type in Chrome Web Store, then in the search field that comes up to the left, when you go into the Chrome Web Store, search for Tab Resize. That Chrome window is not responding at all now. There will be an option, Add to Chrome. You do have to be signed in and syncing to your CPS BOE account for this to work with your work accounts. And I do recommend you always do this. I don't know if I just lost you. My screen just went gray. I can still hear some folks. So you can add Tab Resize and use the tab as I showed it. I'm glad I showed it.
I got
Great.
it.
You could also add, you can also add the Move It extension. It's by the PE Geek. And every 15 or 20 minutes, it'll give you a prompt to move your body and stretch. I recommend that one too. And then there's a whole bunch of other efficiency tools.
I also added it to the comments.
Pardon? What'd you say, Ashley?
I added it to the comments for the tab resize.
Awesome.
I added it to the comments for the tab resize extension.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ashley. All right. So I will be adding more sessions. I've got one planned, but not ready to publish yet on efficiency tools for working remote from home. All right. Also, too, just as a little side plug,
Uh-oh.
You went
lost
away.
her.
Oops.
Well, did anybody else have any questions? I think we lost her there. Josh, I think we're going to have a PD for specialists. That'll be sometime this week. As soon as I find out, I will definitely email you so you can send it out to the cohort of teachers, okay?
Okay, great. Thank
Anybody else have any questions? You're welcome.
This was
Anybody
very
else have
helpful.
any
Thank
questions?
you.
All right, guys. If you
Thank you
guys
very
can,
much.
just go ahead and click leave call, and we'll all get out the call. Oh, she's coming back.
I did. My browser just had to restart. So I'm stopping the recording.